Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, I speak about celebrities who've passed away. The series called Gone Too Soon. I also speak about missing children. I speak about adult missing. I also have a new series where I speak about just celebrities, regular celebrities, and their lives and how they came to be a celebrity. I also have another series called WWE where I speak about WWE superstars. Today I have three missing case children I'll be speaking about. If you are interested in any of those series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell so you'll be notified every time I upload, because I don't have a schedule to upload. So, like I said, I have three missing children cases today. So the first one is going to be Garnell Maroon. I want to say this beautiful baby's name right. So let me just go to my
Garnell Monroe Moore.
Garnell. So he went missing when he was 7 years old. His height and weight is 5'3", 120 pounds. African American male, black hair and brown eyes. Garnell was residing in Baltimore, Maryland, with his potential aunt Belinda Cash when he was last seen sometime during the August 2002. One of his great aunts, Trina Morton, who was 9 months pregnant at the time, recalls seeing him playing outside Cash home on Harlem Street. Morton was raising Garnell half-sister, and Garnell frequently visited them at their home. She made arrangements for Garnell to visit her the next weekend, but then she went into labor and could not see him. About a week later, Morton asked Cash if she could reschedule Garnell's visit, but Cash told her it was inconvenient time as she was in the process of moving. Garnell has not been heard from since. The next time Martin called, the number was disconnected, and the address Cash was supposedly moving to turned out to be fabricated. Garnell's parents never raised him. His mother is in prison, and his father led a transient lifestyle. He spent his earlier years with his potential relatives in the 3700 blocks of Harlem Avenue on the west side of Baltimore. Cash, whose childish, took Garnell into her home when he was 6 years old. It was an informal arrangement, and she never had legally custody of him. He was never enrolled in any schools and never came into contact with any social service agency. Garnell's father did occasionally visit him. He said he last saw his son on Easter, about a year after Matern last seen him, when he went to a family gather in the 100 block of Elton Drive, about a mile and a half northeast of Cash's previous address. In 2005, Morton connected one of Cash's relatives to ask about Garnell, and the relative told her that they hadn't seen Garnell with Cash in years. The summer, Morton was eventually able to locate Cash at her home at a public housing development in the 400 block of Franklin Road and asked to see Garnell. Cash claimed he was away on a school field trip to Virginia, but the school was not in session. And at the time, in any case, Garnell was not enrolled in a student. Garnell was officially reported missing on July 1st of 2005. But the police didn't actually begin investigating his case until March of 2006. When questioned, Cash told police she felt on hard times and was unable to take care for Garnell anymore, so she abandoned him on the steps of a social service building in the 500 block of North Hilton Street near Amison Avenue in West Baltimore. When police spoke to the employees at the social service office, no one had any idea who Garnell was, and no one could recall seeing a boy sitting on the steps. They checked nearly residents, and Garnell wasn't living in any of them. When authorities interviewed Cash neighbors in Old Franklin Road, where Cash had lived off and on for several years, the neighbors remembered Garnell and said Cash called him her son. They said, however, that they had not seen their child since 2001. Police searched her old residence in Harlem Street and found no evidence of Garnell's whereabouts. Cash voluntarily took a lie detector test and showed no signs of dissipation except on one question, which wouldn't have implicated her in a crime. She had no known history of child abuse or neglect and no significant criminal record. The circumstances surrounding Janelle's disappearance are extremely murky. Investigators do not necessarily believe he came to harm and think someone may have taken him and cared for him, but they're concerned for his safety and would like verified his well-being. This case to me, it's a case that I've come across a lot lately. You go, mind you, I'm not blaming her. I'm not blaming her. There's no evidence that she did anything to that little boy. She was taking care of him, and she wanted to do it, and that to me is, I think, is one of the best things that you could do. Mind you, even when your children, when you ask relatives to take care of your children, some relatives do expect money from you, but for her, I don't think she did. I think she just wanted to do it. She didn't have a child at the time, so she wanted to help. She wanted to help him, the little boy, out, and I think that's one of the best things he could do. My thing is that why did it take so long to report him missing? That's where I'm like confused. There has been cases, I'm just like, that I've come across, but it's mostly both kids and adults. Like, they do not. I've came across I think it was like an adult case. The family did not report this family member until 2016. Like, imagine having to go years. Where do you start? Like a cop, like where do we begin? Because when a child goes missing, those 48 hours are crucial for the investigators to find this child. Because whether in 24 hours or whether in 48 hours, something can happen. There is no way that you're going to take a child and stay with them and get caught. There's just no way. It's happened. It's happened before. I'm not saying it has happened. But my thing is, like, mind you, the mom was in prison for who knows what. The dad, he really didn't have like a resident. He was always coming in and out of his life. I don't know. I don't want to blame her or anything. I just would like to know, why did it take that long for her to even say something? Why did it take her that long to report him missing? Like, why didn't, this one it's tricky. It's really tricky. But let's move to the other case. Okay, so the next case we're going to be talking is about Mariah Leigh Mozingo. She went missing at 2 months. Her weight and height is 110 pounds. Caucasian female, blonde hair and blue eyes. Mariah was last seen in Baltimore, Maryland at 1 p.m. on September 3rd of 1993. Her mother stated that they were at the Ornament Shopping Center parking lot in the 3900 block of Ornament Avenue near their home, when a strange man shoved her outside and grabbed Mariah out of the car. He ran away with the baby while her mother went to her house to call police. Mariah has never been seen from again, and little information is available in her case. These are the type of cases that get me really frustrated, because it not being that much information on the case. Mind you, could she had done something to the baby and made it up? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like having my opinions on these type of cases, especially when there is so little information on those cases. I just wish we knew more. I wish that we knew that they talked to the mom, that they looked for the mom. what what did y'all do? Because apparently y'all didn't do anything. Like it just seemed like y'all didn't do anything. Did y'all see anything? Did y'all talk to, back then there was no cell phones. Did y'all talk to the people in the mall? Did you see her with the baby? Like, what were y'all doing? Like, I'm just curious. So the last case I have for y'all today is Lori Mae Peugeot. She went missing at 2 years old. Her height and weight is 2'6", 20 pounds. Light green two-door 1969 Pontiac GTO with the white top accounted for. Caucasian female, blonde hair and blue eyes. Lori and her mother Linda lived in Bel Air, Maryland in 1969. They were staying with relatives there while Linda's husband and Lori's father, Gerald Peugeot, was overseas serving the United States Navy. Linda and Lori was last seen shopping at the now Duncan Kingdom department store in LaVey, Maryland on September 22nd, 1969. The day before Lori's birthday, they have never been heard from again. Stanley Burton Hose Jr. abducted them in the parking lot of store as they were leaving. A photograph of Hose is posted with this case summary. He accosted that Peugeots as they were about to drive away in their two-door 69 Pontiac GTO, which was light green with the white top. He threatened them with a gun and demanded that they drive him to Canada. Host checked into a flaking Pennsylvania motel later the same day. He had Lori with him and asked for a crib, food, and a high chair for her, but the motel owner didn't see Linda, and Host told him the little girl's mother was away from the evening. Later, Host and Lori were seen together in Tiffany, Ohio on September 23rd and in Fairbury, Illinois on September 24th. But there were no sighting of Linda, and Lori was in sighting after September 24th. Host was arrested in Waterloo, Ohio on October 4th alone, still driving Linda's car. Her purse was inside and Lori's car seat was in the back. Host later confessed to authorities that Linda agreed to take him to Canada, but in Pennsylvania she became concerned for Lori's safety, pulled to the side of the road, and refused to drive anymore. Host stated that he shot Linda to death, but her body in the trunk of her vehicle, and several days later murdered her daughter as well. At the time he abducted the Poggies, Host had already escaped from prison, where he was serving a 10 to 20 years for rape, killed a police officer, and kidnapped and released two other people. Host told authorities he drove to Lori's as far as Kansas and then smothered her with either blanket or his bare hand. He then left her body in a rural area outside Kansas City on the side of a creek. He covered her remains with an empty beer carton and fire up 7 shots into her body. He was sentenced to life in prison for the officer's murder, but he was never tried for presumed murder of Linda and Lori because the courts determined that his constitutional right is to a speedy trial and that case had been violated. While in prison, he tortured a guard to death with other inmates and was convicted of manslaughter in prison in 1978. Host died by suicide. Linda and Lori's body have never been located. These are the cases that pisses me off. Why? How did y'all let this man escape? Like, how? And see, I'm not trying to be mean, but these are the type of people that should torture them. Torture them in prison. Torture them the same way that they torture their victims. Torture them until they tell you where the body's at. Torture them until they tell you where the body's at. The same way they torture their victims, they should be tortured in prison. And don't come and tell me talking about, oh, that's not right. We should not be doing that. No, I will be torturing you until you tell me where the body is at. Because, sir, you're about to spend the rest of your life in prison. Just give the family what they want. Just give the body. Like, what are you doing, sir? Like, what are you doing? You're that cold-hearted of a person that you won't tell the family where their body's at? Like, this is what we're doing now? Is this what we're doing? Like, we're doing this whole situation thing? No. No. Tell the family where the body is at. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Just tell them where the body's at. Okay? Stop. Just we need to have a law that specifically say that you will be, I'm telling you, you need to put these people like in solitary confinement until they tell you where the body at. And if they don't want to tell you, well then, sir, you could stay right there until you tell me where the body at. And we're not fixing. No, nope, not doing it. There has been cases of people that come up for parole. They go through the parole board. They ask them, are you gonna tell us where the body's at? And if they say no, parole denied. I don't get it. Well, I kind of get it where I do kind of get where they come from. When it comes to criminals, whether it's serial killers, whether it's just people that just kill for no reason, because at the end of the day, I feel like people just kill for no reason. When they lose that control, that power that they have, and they end up getting caught, and the cops do not find the body, they will fight themselves not to say anything. They will sit there and say, no, I lost the power. I got caught. I have to, and I'm going to prison for the rest of my life. I'm not giving y'all what you want. No, I'm not giving y'all because y'all took that power away from me. But guess what? Me knowing where the body's at, that's the power that y'all not taking away from me. Because I'm not going to tell y'all where the body's at. I'm not going to tell y'all at all. And I think that to me is one of the craziest thing that you could do. You're going to be in prison for the rest of your natural life. You're not going to get out and breathe fresh air. Tell the family where the body's at. Does it kill you? You're not even going to you die, and God is going to look at you and be like, yeah, no, you need to go down there with the devil. Because you're not fixing to walk up in my heaven. You're not fixing to, mind you, I may be going to hell too when I die. Don't ask. It's a long story. But, sir, you could do all the praying you want, but you're still not getting into heaven. Like, no. These people need to get tortured in prison. Tell me where the family's at, and until you don't tell me where the body's at, you're gonna be in confinement. No TV, no nothing, none of that. You're not gonna. No. I will never understand why these people are cold-hearted. How do you sleep at night? And trust me, let me tell you something. Kids, I hope no kids is watching this. Teenagers, there's rats in prison, okay? Because I'm telling you, I've never been in prison, but there is rats in prison. So unless you want to sleep with rats in prison, I suggest y'all start behaving and listen to your mama and your daddy. Because if you don't and you end up in prison, you're going to be sleeping with the rats. Okay? You're going to be waking up in the middle of the night and there's a rat. Mind you, you have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay? 4 o'clock in the morning. To do what? I don't know. I have never been in prison. I'm never going to prison. But 4 o'clock in the morning, you have to be up. There is no you sitting down. I mean, that's what I heard. I don't know. There's no sitting down. You have to be working and stuff. And you barely make anything in prison. You make more in this real world than you do in prison. Behave, okay? Behave. I will be back again with a new video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe. And also hit that bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video.